All right, thanks, guys. The Cavaliers take on the Bulls. That's going to be a 3:30 Eastern tip-off in Chicago. The Bulls open 4, up to -4.5. Totals at 209. Chicago is 2-1 against the spread in their previous 3 games with Cleveland this season. Chicago also ranks 10th in the association in free throw percentage, believe it or not. Now, Cleveland on the other side, they're just 9-41 straight up overall for the year. They've dropped 11 out of their last 12 away from home, and they've failed to cover in 7 out of their last 10 ball games. Now, scoring-wise, Cleveland is 9-4 to the over in their last 13. Chicago 80% to the over in their games at the current posted total. So with all that said and done, I'm going to go ahead and purchase the hook, buy it down, and take Chicago -4 and the over 209 in that one. And before we go ahead and move on, I just want to take a quick timeout and just welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Sunday's NBA and college basketball action. But before we get into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check out my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win record of 5-0 in my last 5 plays on that website. Documented record of 5-0 in my last 5 plays on that website. You're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day. You're not subscribed to that website. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser, and all you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you are watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And with all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines of personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Kings, Clippers, 3:30 tip-off at the Staples Center. The Clippers are -4.5, totals 228 and a hook. 52% are leaning Los Angeles, 61% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Kings are +155 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Kings to cover the number in this matchup here, just keep in mind they're taking on a Clippers squad who ranks 4th in shooting the 3-ball. They actually rank 3rd in home free throw percentage as well. Meanwhile, on the Sacramento side of things, they failed to cover in 7 out of their last 9 away from home. They've also failed to cover in their 2 previous meetings with the Clippers this season. And when it comes to the scoring, Sacramento 64% to the over on the road. Clippers 61% to the over at home. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the half a point, buy it down, and take the Clippers -4 and the over 228.5 in that one. Next game, Bucks, Thunder, 6 o'clock tip-off at OKC. And we've already had a little flip of the lines in this one. Milwaukee open +1.5, now -1. Totals 233. 51% are leaning OKC, 58% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, OKC's +103 for some money line cash. Now, if you like OKC at home here, I really can't blame you. Having said that, though, they are taking on a Milwaukee squad who is on a 6-game winning streak, 6-0 straight up in their last 6. They are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 away from home as well. Now, this Milwaukee squad ranks 1st in offensive rebounding, 2nd in scoring, and 1st in defensive field goal percentage. They're taking on an OKC team who ranks 16th in offensive field goal percentage. They've also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 6 at home. And when it comes to the scoring, Milwaukee's 4-1 to the under in their last 5, 7-2 to the under in their last 9. Give me Milwaukee -1 and the under 233 in that matchup there. Next game, Wizards, Spurs. Wizards, Spurs. 7 o'clock tip-off in San Antonio. The Spurs open 6.5, down to -4.5. Total open 224 and a hook, down to 222 and a hook. 61% are leaning San Antonio, 62% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Wizards are +165 for an upset win. Now, San Antonio does have a handful of guys on the injury report. Rudy Gay is questionable with an ankle. DeMar DeRozan's questionable with a knee. And Bertans is questionable this afternoon as well. I think these players will at least get one of these impact players to actually participate in today's game. And regardless, San Antonio is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. They're also 12-3 against the spread in their last 15 on their home court. Meanwhile, they're taking on a Washington team who's been absolutely abysmal when traveling. They're just 6-18 straight up on the road this season, 7-17 against the spread in that same category. When it comes to scoring, Washington is 4-2 to the under in their last 6 on the road. San Antonio 9-4 to the under in their last 13 on their home court. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take San Antonio -4 and the under 222.5 in that one. Next game, Magic Rockets. That is going to be a 7 o'clock tip-off in Houston. The Rockets open 9, down to -8.5. Total open 222, down to 221. Orlando is +300 on the money line. Now, Houston is covering 64% of their games on their home court. They're also covering 62% of their games as the official home favorite. Orlando, on the other side, is covering just 33% of their games. That tipped off at the current point spread. Orlando also ranks 27th in offensive scoring in the association. And when it comes to the scoring, Orlando 6-1 to the over in their last 7. Houston 4-1 to the over in their last 5 at home. So with all that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and purchase the half a point, buy it down, and take Houston -8 and the over 221 in that one. Next game, Raptors at the Mavericks. That's going to be a 7 o'clock tip-off in Dallas. Toronto opened the betting as the 3.5 point favorite. They're now up to -5. Total open 220, down to 219. 61% are leaning Toronto, 70% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Dallas is +170 for an upset win. Now, if you like Dallas plus the points at home here, they have covered 5 out of their last 7 games. They're also 16-4 straight up in their last 20 on their home court. Now, on the Toronto side, they failed to cover in 9 out of their last 11 away from home. They also rank 17th in offensive rebounding. Now, when it comes to the scoring, both teams are 80% to the under in their last 5 games, respectively. So with all that in mind, with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me Dallas +5 in the under 219 in that matchup there. Next game, Jazz Timberwolves. 7 o'clock tip-off in Minnesota. The Jazz open 3.5 up to -4. Total open 220.5 down to 218 and a hook. 51% are leaning Minnesota. 52% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, Minnesota is +160 for a home upset win. Now, Minnesota has a slew of guys on the injury report. Rose is questionable with an ankle. George Teague is out. Robert Covington's still out. Jones is out. And also Georgie Deng is questionable for tonight's action as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Jazz, 8-1 straight up in their last 9. They rank first in road defensive points allowed in the association. And when it comes to the totals, Utah is 70% to the under in their last 10. Minnesota 3-0 to the under in their last trio of ball games themselves. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the road favorite in this one. Give me Utah -4 in the under 218.5 in that one. Next game, Heat Knicks, 7:30 tip-off in New York. Miami open 5.5 down to -5. Total open 212 down to 210 and a hook. 65% are leaning Miami, 63% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Knicks are +175 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Knicks at home here, just keep in mind they're taking on a Miami team who covers 61% of their games when traveling. They also rank second in points allowed on the road. Miami's 11-5 against the spread in their last 16 away from home. They also rank 4th in road defensive field goal percentage. Now, when it comes to the totals, this Knicks defense is allowing a rotund 116 points per contest, and they're actually allowing 115 points per contest on their home court at Madison Square Garden. So with all that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the road favorite in this one. Give me Miami -5 and the over 210.5 in that one. All right, next and final game for our NBA slate. It is going to be Phoenix at the Lakers, 9:30 tip-off at Los Angeles. The Lakers open -8, down to 6.5. Total open 220, up to 224 and a hook. 52% are leaning Lakers, 65% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Suns are plus 235 for an upset win. Now, if you like Phoenix to get the job done in this one, they have lost their last 7 straight. They're also 0-2 against the spread, taking on the Lakers this season. Phoenix has they rank last in offensive rebounding, last in road three-point shooting, and they rank last in road points allowed. When it comes to scoring, the Lakers are 70% to the under in their last 10. So with all that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and purchase the hook, slide it down, and take the Lakers -6 in the under 224.5 in that one. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some college basketball action. We do have a nice little slate of college games, and we're going to begin with Michigan State at Purdue.